Her Royal Highness, Princess Sumaya bint al-Hassan. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على النبي العربي الأمين. Your Royal Highness, Excellencies, Rectors, Presidents, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome. We're absolutely delighted to welcome you all in Princess Sumaya University for Technology, a place I have the honor to call my home. We hope that this day becomes a regular landmark in the Arab Euro calendar to reflect the commitment of the education community in enhancing and promoting mutual cooperation. The Arab Euro Conference on Higher Education is actually the fruit of very hard work and dedication by the Association of Arab Universities, European University Association, University of Barcelona, and Princess Sumaya University for Technology. For the second time, it brings university leaders from Europe and the Arab homelands to promote a sustainable process of dialogue, understanding, exchange of knowledge, and increased cooperation. We are now opening the ceremony with welcoming remarks by Professor Isa Batarse, President of Princess Sumaya University for Technology.
Thank you. Thank you. Sabah al-khair. Good morning. Your Royal Highness, Princess Sumaya bint al-Hassan, Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Princess Sumaya University for Technology, President of the Royal Scientific Society, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to you all in Jordan. It's a great pleasure for us to host this annual event on behalf of the many exemplary institutions that are part of both the Arab Universities Association and the European University Association, also in close collaboration with Barcelona University. The proximity of our two regions make close cooperation and a shared vision imperative, especially in today's highly internationalized and globalized world of higher education. Princess Sumaya University for Technology, PSUT, as one of the truly outstanding specialized private university in Jordan and the region, is highly conscious of its role as an initiator and a facilitator of cooperation that leads to high quality programs, research, and overall scholarship excellence. We are therefore especially honored to host this event. Today, geographical and political borders are becoming more and more blurred in the face of globalized communication networks and standardized quality assurance criteria in higher education that promote a synergy among universities that is unprecedented. We at PSUT, as a Jordanian university with a large number of ongoing Tempus and Erasmus Mundus projects, are particularly proud of our contribution towards Euro-Arab partnership. Our university, faculty, staff, and students have benefited greatly over the past years from the opportunities that these projects have provided for pursuing graduate and doctoral work, conducting joint research, and improving infrastructure and student services. Without question, we live in a world today where talent, skills, and aptitude easily move across borders, and this movement is being viewed by many as a brain drain. However, I think the brain drain not a threat, but rather an immense opportunity for a cross-border collaboration with irrespective to where talent moves, allows us to continue to access and work with the best minds in the world through establishment of inter-institutional partnership and connections. Yes, we believe in brain sharing and brain circulation. Only through such connectivity and networking can we capture and exploit the intellectual capital of the world, which in these times is a dynamic force for economic innovation. Achieving excellence in research and the development of high-quality program would not just be impractical, but impossible without collaboration and connectivity, which is causing the world to shrink, even as higher education institutions and specializations grow and multiply. PSUT, even though a young university, has made great strides in computing sciences, engineering, business-related programs that are recognized in Jordan and in the region for being just high quality, but not for only high quality, but unique because of their focus in instilling the sense of innovation and entrepreneurship in our students' mindset. Our location in Al Hassan Science City gives our students and staff the opportunity to be part of an eco-innovation system that's unique in the region. Our two core beliefs are quality, not quantity, and encouraging job creation rather than job seeking. This had led us to adopt a strategy that offers exceptional programs, while at the same time limiting student numbers through acceptance of only highly qualified students. This strategy has resulted in our university attracting some of the brightest young minds from Jordan and in the region. The ultimate aim of education is to empower youth and knowledge and skills that can help them contribute positively to their societies and economies, while at the same time be productive world citizens. I believe the strong Arab-Euro partnership that this event characterizes has the potential, if properly nurtured, to be one of the most powerful international alliances in higher education that creates such youth. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of those people who have worked tirelessly to make this event take place and be a successful one. Her Royal Highness Princess Sumaya bint Al-Hassan, Professor Didac Ramirez, the President of Barcelona University, the President of the Association of Arab Universities, Dr. Sultan Abu Arabi, the President of the European Universities, Maria Helen Nazare, and at least but not last, Dr. Abdullah Zu'bi, who and his organizing committee from PSUT and RSS, who worked very hard to welcome you all today. Special thanks to our sponsors who continue to be partners with this university. And I sincerely hope this conference leads to new synergies that serve to improve and strengthen the ties of all member organizations. And once again, warmly welcome you all to Jordan, and I hope you enjoy your stay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Risa. It now gives me an immense pleasure to welcome Professor Didac Ramirez, Rector of the University of Barcelona. They were the first to launch this amazing conference, and because of their efforts, we're here today.
Royal Highness Princess Sumaya, distinguished authorities, very dear Secretary General of the Association Arab Universities, President and Secretary General of the European University Association, dear President of the university that hosts this important event, dear friends, excellencies, and dear colleagues. My university, the University of Barcelona, was deeply honored when, in 2012, the Association of Arab Universities and the European University Association accepted our invitation to co-organize an Arab-Euro conference on higher education. This initiative was developed in the framework of a strategy of international cooperation in higher education that we had already very successfully implemented with the collaboration of the EUA in the context of the Europe-Latin America relations. This focused on the intermediate level of the Association of Universities, a level between the regulators, the governments, including the European Union institutions, and the regulated, that is to say, the individual universities, all of them more or less endowed with a high degree of autonomy. This intermediate level is probably much less important than that of governments and individual universities, but this level has, in change, two great advantages for the purpose of international cooperation. First, we find it regional actors with uncontested legitimacy that really do give a meaning to the term bi-regional, a term that too often risks becoming an empty word. The associations of universities, AARU and the EUA, in our case. Second, it can constitute a platform to produce ideas to be brought upwards to the consideration of governments and to facilitate, downwards, contracts and relations between individual universities. As you know, the first Arab-Euro Conference on Higher Education, H1, took place in Barcelona at the end of May 2013. It constituted a great success. More than 200 higher education institutions participated, most of them represented by their presidents and rectors. We had the honor of listening to a very important policy speech delivered by a high representative of the European Commission, and Princess Sumaya showed us the road ahead with an inspiring discourse. We are now opening the second Arab-Euro Conference on Higher Education, H2. It's already a new success that demonstrates that we have been able to develop a very valuable instrument for cooperation between our two regions, an instrument that goes far beyond the specific area on higher education and will promote a much better understanding between our nations and our peoples on a basis of equality, respect, and mutual trust. The main task ahead is giving content and outreach to this instrument we have created together. We'll have to discuss whether it's convenient to continue to hold annual conferences that absorb an enormous amount of efforts, or it may be more convenient to hold them every 2 years in order to leave adequate time and resources to deepen the AARU process. What I can promise you as a rector of the University of Barcelona is our utmost commitment to this initiative. We shall continue to strengthen the AARU Secretariat in order to endow it with the ability and capacity needed to free AARU and the EUA from having to worry about logistics and allowing both associations to concentrate on substance. We will adapt and reorient our European Union-funded projects in the full respect of the contracts signed with the European Commission and in close collaboration with it, with the double objective of, first, creating a core of individual Arab and European institutions willing to give a continued impulse to the AARU process, and second, allowing their activities to fit into the AARU process. Briefly, we shall continue promoting the AARU process at the highest political and institutional level. Royal Highness Princess Sumaya, 1 year ago, you decide to give your support to this process. Now is a very important and a happy day. You can be proud. Thank you very much. As a proof of this institutional commitment, and without prejudging the decisions that will have to be taken, in due course by AARU and the EUA, allow me to finalize this intervention by once again offering my university for the 3rd edition of the Arab-Euro Conference in Higher Education. We remain at your service and are proud and honored being so. Thank you very much for your attention. Shukran jazilan.
Today, we turn problems into opportunities. Today, we witness how cooperation on higher education strengthens and deepens relations between the peoples of Europe and the Arab world, how it brings our common cultural values and facilitates activities in the scientific, cultural, economic, and social spheres. Today, we should learn more than teach, innovate more than adapt. Now we are going to greet Professor Sultan Abu Urabi, Secretary General of the Association of Arab Universities. Please.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Your Royal Highness Princess Sumaya bint al-Hassan, Chair of the Board of Trustees of Princess Sumaya University for Technology, Professor Maria Helena Nazarei, President of the European University Association, dear friend Professor Didac Ramírez, Rector of University of Barcelona, Mrs. Joanna Rodica, the head of delegation of the European Union to Jordan, Dr. Isa Batarsa, President of Princess Sumaya University for Technology, dear friends, rectors, presidents, your excellencies, prime ministers, ministers, ambassadors, distinguished guests, and dear friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, everybody. I am honored to welcome you all at the second Arab Euro Conference on Higher Education. And first of all, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Your Royal Highness Princess Sumaya bint Al-Hassan for your continuous support for the higher education sector in general, and for your valuable contribution to our association, the Association of the Arab Universities activities in particular, and for being a partner in co-organizing this conference. I also would like to express my deep thanks to Barcelona University, especially to my dear friend, the Rector, Professor Didakir Marais, and to my dearest friend, Professor Ramon Torrent, who was actually behind the first and the second conference. And also, the thanks goes to the European University Association, particularly Professor Maria Helena Nezare and Mrs. Leslie Wilson, for their valuable partnership and commitment. And thanks also due to the organizing committee for all their efforts and hard work. I am very pleased to see here in Amman representatives from many countries, both of Arabs and Europeans, and international organizations and NGOs. I am truly proud of our international community in which we gather to discuss, analyze new challenges, and agree on next steps of joint efforts towards the future of higher education in the region and beyond. Your Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen, many economic, social, and political challenges resulted from globalization and were influenced by new information technologies. The impact of these challenges on higher education, in particular, varies from one region to another. However, Arab countries are much affected by the outcomes and are still passing through a vast transition that affects the function, the role, the authority, and structure of higher education. As higher education is a powerful and strategic tool for sustainable development, which does not only transfer knowledge, but also to provide skillful and qualified human resources who contribute in the development of their countries and who are capable to compete within a global context. It is for many reasons that our association, the Association of the Arab Universities, focuses on building capacities of students and faculties through undertaking planned series of workshops, seminars, and training programs, and through building up international relationships with peer associations and universities. We certainly believe that networking and partnership are key elements in broadening internationalization. That's why we are here today to investigate a possible framework to promote all activities of cooperation and collaboration within internationalization. It is worth mentioning here that last February, just 4 months ago, our association launched the Arab European Leadership Network for Higher Education, ARLEN, which is a result of European Commission funded Tempest project entitled Leadership in Higher Education Management for the MENA region. And that was coordinated by Cardiff Metropolitan University and the Leadership Foundation in UK, the British Council, and the Magna Carta Observatory. It is meant to be a bridge between European and MENA universities. ARLEN has been established as a substructure of AARU, and one of the objectives and direct deliverable and outcome of the Tempest project, building capacity for university management. ARU focuses throughout the past 2 years to be involved in various European Union projects like Erasmus Mundus, like Al-Fahri, the Peace Program, the Hermes Project, Okwam Project, Bukham Project, and the MIMI, and the last one just was 2 months ago, the TMIDA, Tuning Middle East and North Africa, and others. Your Royal Highness, we need to set priorities here, measures to support internationalization should also be looked at. We should discuss several points in this important event. And they are how to increase funding for higher education and paying special attention to improve universities' infrastructure, the quality of teaching, and curriculum development. The importance of quality assurance and accreditation, development of joint curricula to pave the way towards joint degrees, creating science-based societies through doctoral studies mobility, setting policies to approach internationalization, the importance of market orientation in higher education. Ladies and gentlemen, operating with international environment demands resources, experience, skills, and knowledge. We need to facilitate faculty collaboration, exchange, and research across borders. Our numerous activities and events that were organized by our association, starting with the first Arab Malaysian Global Higher Education Summit in October 2012, followed by the Arab Euro Conference on Higher Education last May, then the first Arab-Turkish Conference on Higher Education last April, just 2 months ago, and this important conference, in addition to the upcoming Arab-German Conference on Higher Education, which will be held in October 2014. Such events will be political events, and that will be organized on an annual basis in order to have a platform for regular dialogue and mutual interaction. It is with great concern, Association of Arab Universities and many other organizations are watching the difficult situation facing scholars and universities in our neighboring country, Syria. As all you know, many Syrians fled across borders to Jordan, Lebanon, Turkey, Iraq, and other countries. University leaders, scholars, and all bodies concerned in higher education sector need to focus in discovering new solutions to the problems that they face we need to discuss the mechanism to offer any required in this respect to help the scholars and the students. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, let me thank you all again for your contribution, for your time, emphasizing that we at the Arab Association welcome and support and encourage enhancing cooperation with regional and international bodies. And we are willing to help of all your valuable partners to achieve progress. I am confident that you will enjoy your stay in Jordan and that this conference will have fruitful discussions and successful outcomes and will open a new dialogue between the individual universities. Thank you so much for your attention. Many thanks to all of you and those people who came from Europe. We hope that you will enjoy the nice summer here in Jordan and you will visit the historical places like Petra and Jarash in the next few days. Thank you so much, and looking forward to see you in the third conference, hopefully next year or the year after, my dear friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Sultan. I would like to kindly invite Professor Maria Helena Nazare, President of the European University Association, to address the audience and to deliver her welcoming speech.
Good morning, Your Royal Highness Princess Sumaya, the head of the delegation of the European Union in Jordan, and my dear colleagues, rectors, the rector of Princess Sumaya University, the rector of University of Barcelona, my dear old friend, if I may say so, Professor Sultan Horabi. I have the honor of representing here the European University Association, and I'm really deeply impressed and even moved by what the collaboration with between the two associations, the Arab Association, European Association, under the patronage of the Royal Highness Princess Sumaya, and of course, with the help of this university and Barcelona University, what we have achieved. Only last year, we had about 300 representatives, if memory serves me right, discussing the problems that face both regions of the world in this century. And those problems were basically employability, youth employability, internationalization was another one of them, and the global challenges. And of course, we all believe as university leaders that answers to these questions cannot be found just like that. They will not happen immediately, but they depend on education, they depend on research. And so they put on universities the responsibility, the duty to contribute to address these questions in a constructive way. And also, being from not very big European country, I know that it's through mobility of staff and students that we gain each other's trust. And it's only if we gain that trust that we will be able to share knowledge, to share ideas, and also, why not, to contribute by mutual understanding to peaceful solutions in all the world. You might say that these are perhaps naive ambitions, but they are the only possible ambitions nowadays. As you probably know, our organization has 850 members from 47 different countries. It's quite a lot. And every country has its own interests. And every university within a given campus also has its interests. So promoting the mobility, promoting the so-called, what was called the Erasmus program, and is still called the Erasmus program, that supported the mobility of students and staff, needed this basic condition, trust. We should trust on the quality of the university where we are sending our students. And that happened and gave opportunity for us to know better each other and to reinvent methods of quality assurance, methods that would not punish universities that do not perform, but methods that help universities to perform better. We have been trying to find ways of benchmarking against each other. Again, not to become better than you or worse than you, but to use the examples of the good universities and try to implement them in the not so good universities. Princess Sumaya referred explicitly in her last speech how important it would be to have an Erasmus, between inverted commas, mobility program that would address not only mobility between Europe and Arabic countries, but also within Arab countries and within European countries. And only rectors are in a position nowadays of constructively devising schemes that would answer to this challenge and talk to their country governments, to their representatives, to try really to achieve what we all want: better education, better life conditions to everybody. We want our young generation to get employments, to live happy and fruitful lives, and to bridge the gap that is happening in Europe between the older generation and the younger generation. This is the crucial problem in Europe nowadays, is that we have a strongly adverse demographic situation. And so we should try to bridge the differences in generations. And we hope, and I particularly hope, that by working together, learning from you, sharing knowledge, we will have better instruments to address the very different problems that we all face. At this moment, I would like to express my gratitude, not only to Princess Sumaya and Princess Sumaya University, also to Barcelona University, who has very handsomely took trouble and support for this conference. And I hope and expect to continue to have Your Royal Highness patronage to this challenging issue. Let's really exchange experience through making our students and our staff truly global and trusting of each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please allow me to welcome Dr. Juana Ronica, Head of Delegation of the European Union to Jordan.
Your Royal Highness, Princess Somaya bint Al Hassan, distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear professors, rectors. It is a pleasure to be among you today, many of you being the representatives of higher education institutions for all over the Kingdom, North Africa, Middle East, and of course Europe. I would like to congratulate Your Royal Highness particularly for organizing the second Arab Euro Conference on Higher Education. This conference aims to exchange the experiences of universities in European and Arab countries that have benefited from mobility programs, particularly those that have a regional nature. This is the second time that this event is organized to reflect on increasing cooperation between academic institutions, students, academics, and researchers with the collaboration of the European Union member states, last year in Barcelona and this year in Amman. The European Union follows this conference with great interest. This year, the conference aims to take the discussion on a step further. Since in launch in the middle 80s, the Erasmus exchange program of the European Union has facilitated short-term mobility for 3 million students and staff. Beyond the actual members that it had achieved, it has had an important impact in establishing structures and protocols, such as learning agreements between institutions and study recognition through European credit transfer system. Erasmus contributed to a European culture for academic mobility and reinforced the role of higher education in the European integration process. It has become one of the most successful, most visible and sustainable initiatives of the European Union, which is certainly one of the reasons for increasing its funding and extending its function to international mobility beyond Europe in Erasmus Plus program, which started this year, 2014. We strongly encourage you to participate in calls for proposal of Erasmus Plus and other EU programs such as Horizon 2020 and Euromed Youth, which are now open to countries from all over the world. Here, a mutual interest between our societies exists, and this interest has perhaps never been keener as these days, especially under the young generation who wants to learn from our societies and exchange views. Our role as European Union and through the national Erasmus Plus office here in Jordan is to encourage and facilitate this exchange and contribute to the development of the next generation. The aim of higher education is to provide societies with new knowledge and ideas. Resources are available for those who dare to present innovative or useful quality interventions. At the same time, the European Union encourages cooperation between universities in Arab countries. Many academics and researchers from Jordan and other countries have left to foreign universities in GCC countries in the past years, and many students after their graduation hope to find employment there. Research has shown that around 50% of Arab students studying science abroad do not plan to return to their countries of origin to work, since they found the environment for scientific research elsewhere more challenging. This phenomenon demonstrates the strength of the scientific institutions here in Jordan. However, it threatens the continuity and quality of the institutions. In many cases, it is an opportunity for new young professors and researchers to bring new blood and regenerate universities. The European Union encourages new forms of cooperation, and for these reasons wants to strengthen the cooperation in the MENA region through the development of the program that is built upon the successes of Erasmus Plus program and its predecessors such as Tempus. It is important to make use of lessons learned, but at the same time to tailor many regional programs to the need of sending and recipient partners, and hence not to copy any proposals. The needs and backgrounds from academic institutions and societies of the GCC states are different than their EU counterparts, and this should reflect in preparation and implementation of exchange programs. May I also draw your attention to the plight of many young Syrian students who are part of the lost generation. They are among us here in Jordan and in many other countries such as Lebanon, Iraq, and elsewhere. It is our duty not to forget these Syrian students and incorporate their needs in future programs, such as the ones that you are discussing here in the next couple of days, since they are the generation that needs to build a new society in Syria, which is based on the principles of freedom and democracy. Coming to the end of my speech, I would like to refer to Ibn Battuta, who is still viewed to this day by many Arabs as a great explorer and traveler of the Arab world. Ibn Battuta, who precedes Erasmus with more than 100 years as an academic, a writer, and a man who traveled extensively through the wider Islamic world and beyond. Over the last 2 years, on average, 170 students have benefited from the exchange programs under the previous Erasmus Mundus program. Currently, we are working with the Jordanian authorities to increase this number under the new Erasmus Plus program. Let us, through our activities, allow many students to follow in the footsteps of Ibn Battuta. I wish you interesting discussion in the conference during the couples of days. وفي نهاية اسمحوا لي بالعربي أن أقدم دائما كل التقدير لصاحب سمو الملكي الأميرة سمية بنت الحسن، إلى لصديقي عزيز دكتور عرابي، الأعزاء الأساتذة من أوروبا، طبعا حضرتك رئيس للجامعة للأميرة سمية، وأتمنى لكم كل التوفيق ونجاح في مناقشة.
Many thanks to Dr. Juana. A master in a class of her own, a leader of innovation and entrepreneurship, with a mind filled with vision and a heart full of hope. It is my honor and pleasure to invite Her Royal Highness Princess Sumaya bint al-Hassan to deliver her welcoming speech.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين النبي العربي الأمين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أصحاب الدولة، أصحاب المعالي، أصحاب العطوفة، رؤساء الجامعات، أصحاب السعادة السفراء، الضيوف الكرام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يسعدني في هذا الصباح الوضاء علماً وتقانة ومعرفة أن أرحب بكم جميعاً أجمل ترحيب في رحاب جامعة سمية للتكنولوجيا لافتتاح المؤتمر الأوروبي العربي الثاني للتعليم العالي، أهمية الحراك المناطقي، الذي يهدف إلى تعزيز التعاون والتنسيق بين الجامعات الأوروبية والجامعات العربية. ولعله من يمن الطالع أن يتزامن انعقاد هذا المؤتمر مع إنعام صاحب الجلالة الهاشمية الملك عبد الله الثاني بن الحسين المعظم أعزه الله على الجامعة بوسام الاستقلال من الدرجة الأولى تقديراً لإدائها المتميز على صعيد التعليم العالي في الأردن. أيها السيدات والسادة، إننا نعيش اليوم في عالم يمور بالنزاعات والحروب التي يغذيها العلم والتكنولوجيا، وتغذيهما بدورها في حلقة مفرغة. لقد أزف الوقت لكسر هذا الحلقة ومناهضة الشر والخراب، فأمام البشرية تحديات جسام من حيث الصحة والبيئة والمناخ والماء والغذاء والهواء. من هنا ركزنا في مدينتنا مدينة الحسن العلمية على العلم للسلم، إكراماً لثقافة السلام الحق بكل ما يعنيه ذلك، وللإنسان الذي خلقه رب العالمين في أحسن تقويم، وذلك بالعمل على جسر الهوة بين واقع الإنسان وكرامته. وهذا بدوره يتطلب التوفيق بين المسؤوليات والواجبات ونشر القيم التي تشكل الوعي الجمعي، وعلى رأسها احترام قدسية الحياة والمسؤولية تجاه الأجيال القادمة وصون الكرامة الإنسانية. أيها السيدات والسادة، يكتسب هذا المؤتمر أهميته من كونه منصة لقادة الجامعات من أجل مد جسور التعاون بين الجامعات الأوروبية والجامعات العربية، والتركيز على تعزيز الحوار البناء المستدام بينها. وفي هذا المقام علينا أن نتعلم كيف نبني تلك الجسور، آخذين بعين الاعتبار حكمة الإشراق في الشرق وتقاليد التنوير في الغرب، لأنه لولا الإشراق لما كان هناك تنوير، والتنوير القيمي هو الذي نسعى لمحافظته عليه وليس التنوير المادي. Very distinguished guests, very respected Board of Trustees of the Princess Sumaya University for Technology, Your Excellency, the Jordanian Minister for Higher Education, and your colleagues, the Secretary General, the head of the Jordanian Higher Accreditation Committee, and the head of the Jordan Scientific Research Fund, Your Excellency, Professor Maria Elena Nazaré, President, European University Association, Your Excellency, President Sultan Abu Arabi of the Arab Universities Association, Excellency Professor Joanna Ronica, head of the delegation of the European Union to Jordan, dear friend Didac Ramirez, rector of the University of Barcelona in Spain, Dr. Isa, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. It is a very great pleasure to welcome you all to the second Arab Euro Conference on Higher Education, and indeed to Jordan. I'm delighted that we meet here in Amman in order to build on our discussions that began so fruitfully in Barcelona last year. And I'm equally delighted that we may continue our engagement with our wonderful hosts of last year, the University of Barcelona. There is no doubt that we have much to deliberate and even more to contemplate as we embark upon a process that will prove endlessly rewarding for all our Arab and European partners and for all our institutions and peoples. But we must acknowledge that this is a process that must be enlarged and empowered by all of us in our professional lives beyond the conference. I am also delighted that we bring together today for the second time the Association of Arab Universities and the European Universities Association. This conference provides a unique platform for university leaders and change-makers to focus their extraordinary skills and experience on promoting a sustainable, a durable process of dialogue, mutual understanding, exchange of knowledge, and increased cooperation between Arab and European universities. how fortunate we are to have you all here today at the Sumaya University for Technology, some 240 university presidents and higher education leaders from 37 countries in Europe and the Arab world. You are all so very welcome. There is no doubt that now, more than ever, mobility in education is a challenge that must be met by all those who are serious about providing the best and most enriching educational environment to students, academics, and researchers. But this is a challenge that has long been recognized in the Arab world, yet so little has been done to provide the essential mobility to our young people, except for those who are fortunate enough to have been born wealthy and within reach of foreign centers of educational excellence. This shameful reality ensures that so much of our talent and financial resources are lost to the outside world, while our own Arab world has done a little to test itself internally and against the academic world beyond. We must remedy this situation as a matter of utmost urgency. We must begin a process that ensures mobility and quality are intrinsic to our institutions and systems of education. And as Arabs, we must ensure that this is a project that we engage with and sustain over many years. The fits and starts of our recent academic development must be consigned to the history books. Ladies and gentlemen, you are a testament to the fact that change is in the air, in the Arab academic world and in the Arab-European academic engagement. You have demonstrated that the Arab world and the growing population of young people that you represent will do all it can to ensure mobility and quality of education in our region and beyond. We must celebrate this and remind ourselves that this is as it should be. For in the words of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Don't tell me how educated you are, tell me how much you have traveled." Perhaps it is fair to say that so many of us have been guilty of not responding to globalization with a considered and confident response, one that can only be framed in a comprehensive policy of internationalization, one that trumpets our interests and admits both our strengths and our shortcomings. For we must all be agreed that we cannot deny that globalization is the overarching context in which economic and academic trends that shape our world are evolving. Globalization is the defining modus of the 21st century. I believe that we must respond comprehensively to this reality with policies of internationalization that recognize the practices and pressures as well as the potential for growth that our academic systems and institutions face. There is no longer an option, but an absolute necessity in order for Arab universities to cope with a global and globalizing academic environment. The rewards for recognizing this urgent need for internationalization are indeed many. They include not only knowledge growth and commercial gain, but also greatly enhanced curricula with international content that is relevant and necessary for today's academics and graduates. Particular and peculiar initiatives have been tried in the Arab world with greater and lesser degrees of success. We have many examples of branch campuses, international collaborations, hosted and exchange programs, and various forms of accreditation. However, until we act as one, our Arab system will not become durable and fit for purpose in the exciting and challenging academic reality of this century. Ladies and gentlemen, we must ensure that internationalization becomes part and parcel of the essential vision and core ethos of our academic institutions and systems. Our leaders must forge ahead with vision, leadership, and a desire for uncompromised collegiate cooperation. The success of our mission demands the engagement of faculty and administrators through to students and non-academic partners. We are all in this together, and we all have so much to gain. I'm deeply grateful to the Association of Arab Universities and the European Universities Association for your drive and your dedication to making Arab-European university collaboration real and relevant. Ladies and gentlemen, I very much hope that the fruitful discussions held in Barcelona last year will form the basis for the establishment of a permanent framework for dialogue and for action. I believe that all of us who were present last year felt a keen sense of energy and of purpose. We must harness this and magnify it so that we may now establish a solid work program that will allow us to broaden and deepen the cooperation between our institutions and our peoples. And in the words of Maya Angelou, the wonderful poet of peaceful wisdom who passed away so recently, perhaps travel cannot prevent bigotry, but by demonstrating that all peoples cry, laugh, eat, worry, and die, it can introduce the idea that if we try and understand each other, we may even become friends. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our duty as academics who have already found friendship amongst ourselves to ensure that generations of our colleagues meet each in friendship over the coming decades. السيدات والسادة، كل ثقة بأن هذا المؤتمر ما هو إلا امتداد للمؤتمر الأول الذي عقد في برشلونة العام الماضي، وستعملون على الخروج ببرنامج عمل يفتح الباب على مصراعيه لتوسيع آفاق التعاون بين مؤسسات التعليم العالي العربية والأوروبية ومن ثم بين شعوب هذه المناطق. كما آمل أن تكون مخرجات هذا المؤتمر مناسبة لتشجيع قادة الدول على إعادة التفكير في دور الجامعة في إطار عالمنا المعولم وإدخال وظائف جديدة للجامعات تؤكد على دورها في مواجهة التحديات الاجتماعية والاقتصادية في المنطقتين العربية والأوروبية. في الختام اسمحوا لي أن أتقدم بأصدق آيات الشكر والاعتزاز لجميع الأساتذة الأفاضل المشاركين في هذا المؤتمر الذين لا شك سيغنونه بعصارة فكرهم وزبدة تجاربهم وخبراتهم. والشكر الموصول كذلك للجنة التحضيرية للمؤتمر ولكل العاملين وأخص بالذكر العاملين في جامعة سمية في الإعداد له، كما أتقدم بالشكر الجزيل للذين دعموا هذا المؤتمر. وفقكم الله ورعاكم، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you, Your Royal Highness, for your inspiring words. I would like to welcome our friends from Istanbul Medina University. We have Dr. Hamid Okur, the chairman of the First Turkish Arab Congress of Higher Education, and we have the Professor Orhan Ali Moglu, General Secretary of the First Turkish Arab Congress. They would like to present Her Highness with a gift of friendship and spirit of cooperation. With these inspiring speeches, we would like to close the opening ceremony and would like to invite everyone for a coffee break. Thank you.